Here we go. We need some Friday fun. No more stories about, Iran deals and bombing plots foiled and all this other crap. Although very important, let's talk about something that I think in my little pea brain is just as important. Culturally, this whole World Cup thing. I didn't expect it either. I did a whole thing on this the other day about all the different fans loving America. I did not expect these foreign fans and what they've realized about our own country with their eyes to realize how great we are. I did not expect this. And there's one fan group and one culture in particular we need to keep here. Don't let them go. Keep them here. Don't even let them leave. Grab the visas if you have to. We need these Scottish fans here possibly forever. Can we make like New England and maybe the Northeast just West Scotland? Because they've been amazing. But it's more than that, though. It really is. There's something deeper to this whole thing. Everybody's talking about the drinking and the partying and the no Scotland, no party, and they've been amazing. But this whole World Cup experience thing, honestly, I mean this. This has shown a lot of us, me anyway, I can't be alone in this, exactly how alike a lot of us are. It's been fantastic, and we've got to get into that whole thing. We'll get into it in just a little bit here. By the way, World Cup stuff, if you're into watching the games, still a lot about soccer I don't understand, but the fans I get 100%. USA, go Team USA. It's not just going to be about Scotland today. We're playing Australia this afternoon. So hopefully you're talking about and thinking about a win if you're watching or listening to this later on. And Scotland itself is taking on Morocco. That means this is why it's relevant. They're back in New England. They arrived in Boston. They drank the town dry. They ventured out in New York, Rhode Island. Some of them went, a little further out into the country. But then they came back for the game. And they're partying even harder than before. We'll get into it. Thanks for finding Wicked Radio. Friday fun, like I said. Live stream and replay, X, YouTube, and Facebook, and the audio podcast. As always, posted shortly thereafter, wherever you like to get them. You can't talk about this group of people without talking about the drinking. It's part of it. Just is. No Scotland, no party. It's a hashtag. It's a saying. It's a chant they've had there. I'm learning for decades. They've said this forever. Now the rest of the world, because their team happens to be in this tournament, we're all learning this whole thing. But this is a part of our culture we've had in America for centuries. It's been a big part of this entire thing. Now, we all know about it, and it's well documented. And even though all of the fans have been great, the Japanese have been amazing, the Dutch, the Germans have been a lot of fun. I guess all the English people have been fantastic as too. It's their game. They love it. There's something special about this group of people we're going to key in on here. And you all know what it's about.
When others drop off, the Scots just keep on going. And now, the beer's disappearing in Boston.
You guys are drinking this whole city dry, you know that?
Yeah, we need reassurances from the mayor of Boston that there will be sufficient alcohol.
We were in Cheers Bar yesterday for 2 pints and we stayed for 20.
Now, obviously. Now, any other culture, what would we do as Americans if we went to any other town? Munich, London, Glasgow, anything, right? If we could get away with it, we would cause disruption and fights, and there'd be problems and all this other stuff. Dig deep into the stories, into the archives, and find me any stories of arrests, fights, vandalism, mayhem in either Boston, Providence, or New York where they've been for their entire time in the journey, for the ones that haven't gone home. Find them, because I can't. It's been unbelievable. And as far as the drinking part of this is where it affects the local economy up there as well. How about this? They've literally, the reporter wasn't kidding, they've drunk Boston dry. Well, what do you mean? You're talking about a big metropolitan city. What are you talking about? The Dubliner, famous Boston bar, ran out of kegs. They tried to, Tennent's, I guess, is a big Scottish beer. They tried to provide as many kegs as they possibly could. An emergency order had to be put in. There's a famous bar in Boston called the Black Rose, which has been around since, ironically, 1976. It's just about 50 years old. They ran out. In a 50-year history, that bar, in particular, the Black Rose in Boston, has never, ever, ever run out of beer. Ever. And it happened. They drank Boston dry. And if you talk to any of and they've done a bunch of interviews with, obviously you saw the local cops, but the local bartenders, they've been fantastic. And I go again, this is part of the story here. Where are the incidents? Where are the incidents of violence and problems and disruption? And compare that to the Knicks celebration parade that just happened yesterday for their world championship. Fights and mayhem and this and that. No, not with these folks. They just want to come, enjoy, and party. And here's another part of this thing, why we need to keep them here. They're cleaning up after themselves. This is different, something we're not used to. Listen to this Boston sanitation worker. So apparently I think he's in Boston Common, and this was from the weekend. It's a couple of days old. but they gathered up all of the extra bottles and they put them in neat piles for the people to clean up when they got to work Monday morning.
They deep, man, and they could drink, too. What? Are you kidding me, man? They must don't got no water over there in Scotland. After they're gone, I'm one person cleaning up after them, man, and it ain't that bad. They came, conducted themselves, man, with class, dignity, man, and they like our city. So I'm happy they came, man.
So obviously, and Boston's just one example, and you're seeing this, you are with other cultures and different fans in different cities. Like the people in Dallas are loving the Japanese, and the Japanese are loving them. There's I don't know what's going on here, and maybe my antenna is up to it because most of my heritage is Scotch-Irish, whatever. So I'm just aware of this. But there's an appreciation for them coming over here and not believing the media stories they were told about the United States, and then the welcoming arms of Americans welcoming them, the real people, not the elites, not the people that think they're elites, and not the media stories about it. It's been a beautiful thing. Listen to this fine lassie. Now, I can't understand half of what she's saying, but I love her already. They had to put subtitles on her because she's got such a thick accent. But basically what she's saying is she's loving the Americans and her experience over here.
Morning, guys. For Boston. It's about 8:30. I'm sat outside my apartment block. I just had a coffee. And I just wanted to do a wee video while the streets are quiet. Everyone's obviously sleeping their hangovers off. I just wanted to do a wee video to the people of Boston just to say thank you. Honestly, I've spent the last 24 hours quite emotional, I won't lie. The America that we are experiencing right now is the America we were promised growing up. The American dream, that idea, and being fully honest, that was not the America we were.
Okay, 3/4 of it I can't understand, but basically the tone of it is, it's not what she was told growing up what America was going to be, and it's been just absolutely amazing so far. And I would bet you a little bit different because culturally I think it's just so similar, and there's things they could recognize in Boston and Providence, even a little bit in New York. But I think she would probably say the same thing if the tournament was in Chicago, if their game was there, or if they went to L.A. Maybe not to the extent of which in the Northeast, but probably the same thing, because the other fans of other cultures are saying the same thing. And then they've just been going through these towns and these cities and assimilating in, and they brought their frickin' bagpipes, and they're joining in with the guys who are the drummers on the empty plastic carts. It's fantastic. Like I said, they're back in New England region for their game that's happening, I guess, tonight with Morocco. Again, I'm not an X's and O's guys when it comes to soccer. I'm just following the cultural stuff. But they did do a little day trip. They took some day trips to New York. What'd they think of that?
Few hours in New York City. How's it been? What have you noticed first?
I've noticed that it's not as good as Boston.
Not as good as Boston.
Whoops. Sorry, New York. All right. But there's another element of this whole thing which is just awesome. This is why we need to keep them here.
Scotland's famous Tartan Army has set Boston abuzz with its World Cup spirit.
And now the group's passion is making an appearance off the pitch. The fans visited Horizons for Homeless Children in Roxbury Tuesday. They toured the center, played bagpipes for children on the playground, and made a $1,200 donation.
I'm sorry. What other group of people? I've never heard. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Another World Cups. Maybe like the Dutch go to their city and they put together a charitable effort or whatever. I've just never heard of that. Ever. This isn't an organization. This isn't like a whatever nonprofit you're talking about. These are dudes who showed up. They asked around where the local children's hospital is. Showed up and they said, hey, can we play our bagpipes for them? And we've raised some money at the bar where we just came from, probably the Black Rose. And can we make this, what'd she say, $1,200 donation? I don't know what it was. And donate money. Who does that? And they plan to do that. It's just amazing. We need more of this, and we're capable of it. It's fantastic. And then I thought this was fascinating as well. If you're looking at the culture of this whole thing, it's probably fascinating only to me. So maybe this is why this particular group of people with the Scots and the fans coming over here are taking so keenly to the U.S. Maybe so. Maybe they got here and they said, oh, that's not what we were told at all. That's not what the media reports of the U.S. are like. And maybe they felt some sort of a kinship to it because this is actually part of our history. The whole West Virginia area and the Appalachian, mostly the Scots went there. They did. That explains the Appalachian accent. It was like from a thick Scottish Gaelic accent. It was. That's a little too deep, but still. Doesn't it make sense they would start hitting the bars in and around New England and even outside of New England a little bit and start singing Country Roads, the John Denver song? Somehow this fits. Fits, guys. It just does. Perfect. But there's something else to this, and this is what I'm getting at. This is why I kind of, put that in the cheeky headline. Can we just keep the Scots here and deport the libs? Okay. I couldn't think of anything else to say because basically that's the whole thing of it. That's not the only song they started singing. And if you paid attention to this, or you've seen some of the news reports of these bar songs that break out, it's not just No Scotland, No Party in the chant. It's not just Country Roads. This has been happening too. Word for word, loud as hell, in joyous voice. You know what they're doing? And there are documented videos of this happening in New York too. It wasn't just in Boston or Providence. They're singing our national anthem perfectly. What? When did this... Hand over heart, our national anthem, at the bar, probably waiting for them to import more tenants. But still, who does that? They do that. Fantastic. Again, I'm beating a dead horse. Where are the reports? You see all kinds of reports of that, and the singing and the dancing and the partying in the streets and the charitable efforts. Where are the fights? And these are people that can fight. Trust me on this one. That will, if you push them and back them into a corner. There's none of that. They came to this country to party and drink and have a good time, spend money, enjoy the local economy, help out with charitable efforts, have some hijinks fun, put cones on, local statues. You're seeing that happen too. When was the last time you went to any kind of a bar and randomly, in our country, anywhere in the country, at a sports bar, any kind of bar, and you had a bunch of people just randomly break out in the national anthem? Maybe at a big championship game you're watching, maybe at a big event, whatever it is. This is something special. Now, this reason why I bring this up and I put that in the headline, let's keep them and deport the libs. By libs, I mean not your traditional bleeding heart, hippie libs that still love this country. I mean the ones that, and you know what I'm talking about. They're looking at all of the America 250 celebration stuff and going, oh, it's just, how can you celebrate this country with that guy in charge? We have so many problems. It's just those people, right? You know who I'm talking about. That's who we need to get rid of. All right, we can't get rid of them, but still. Now, juxtapose the Scots singing perfectly our national anthem while hammered in the bars in and around New England. And this story that popped up on CNN. Before I saw it on CNN, and I think this is actually where they got it, I happened to see this, and you may have too. It was a quick little headline in the New York Post. This was 2 days ago. And I went, that can't be that accurate. And it said this: only 27% of Democrats will display American flag on July 4th. First thing I thought was, that's a little, all right, let's dig deeper into that. That can't be right. And maybe you're talking about, and I can't, maybe you're out of town on July 4th and you can't display your flag. Maybe you don't have one right now. Maybe it got ripped and you don't want a crappy looking flag. No, CNN followed up with this, believe it or not, and they found that survey's pretty much accurate.
How patriotic are Americans feeling this morning? With us now, CNN chief data analyst.
We will
Harry
always remember Lexington and Concord, people. We will always remember it here on CNC.
Patriots Day versus the 4th. We know which one is more important. But the meaning of the 4th, when we asked voters about this, what do most of them say at this point?
This, to me, is one of the most stunning divides that we have seen. We're talking about polarization in politics. It even comes down to what you believe July 4th actually is. Like, what does July 4th mean to you? Celebrate America, friends and family time. Among Republicans, what do you see? You see the clear majority say it's a time to celebrate America, 65%. Among Democrats, however, the plurality disagree. Look at that. What do you see? Friends and family time at 42% versus just 24% who say that what it means most to them is to celebrate America. So even on the basic question of what July 4th means to you, we have Republicans on one end saying celebrate America, more of them say that, and Democrats on the other end saying that it means more to them to have time with friends and family.
All right, that was long. Sorry about that, but he got to the point at the end and made a good one. So even at America's 250th birthday, you can't find them to say it's about celebrating this country. So again, Compare that. People who aren't even American singing our national anthem in perfect pitch and harmony, hand over heart in bars. Why is it that we can see and appreciate our country, why is it they can appreciate our country better than we can as a whole? Why is that? I don't know. That's been my experience with this so far. I couldn't tell you a lick about soccer. I have no idea what's happening there with the game. I have no idea. I don't think I've sat through an entire one, although I will go USA, play in Australia. But this is what I'm paying attention to. This is what it's taught me. Once you get into this country, there are whole groups of people, mostly the Scots, but it's also with the English and the Dutch and the Japanese and the Germans and everybody else that's over here, appreciating our country for what it is. You know why? Because they're getting into the real country and finding real Americans. That's why, not what they're told on outlets like CNN. So I don't think we can deport the America-hating libs and keep the Scots, but I'd sure like to. All right, that's your Friday fun. Enjoy it, too, no matter if you're watching the World Cup or not, whatever it is. But pay attention to these fans because they've been awesome. All right, thanks for finding me. Make it a wicked awesome Friday. Thanks for finding the live stream on 8 a.m. Eastern Time on X and YouTube and Facebook and the replay thereabouts. And also, of course, always the audio podcast posted shortly after we get off there. Got a whole weekend of fun to happen here. Make it an awesome one, make it a safe one, and enjoy. Let's use this as an experience to take a look at our own country and realize how good we have it. Take care.